couple of years ago, I was in Limerick City and I was starving, so I decided I'd pop into McDonald's. And I noticed something I hadn't really seen before, an awful lot of couples. And of course, one thing that was really obvious about the particular reactions of the couples' faces when the meal would come was the absolute elation and joy on the guys' faces, and the absolute misery, disappointment and bewilderment of the ladies. And then I looked at my watch and said, it's Valentine's Day. And the girls really couldn't believe that the lads would be so tight as to bring them out to McDonald's on Valentine's Day or Valentine's evening. When we think of the Lord, when we think of the Lord's generosity, when we think of the Lord's mercy, as is mentioned today in the reading from the prophet Micah, what God can compare with you, taking fault away, pardoning crime, not cherishing anger forever, but delighting in showing mercy. So this superabundance of mercy, the superabundance of grace, so much so that no matter how far we fall, there's actually always a way back to the Lord. All we have to do is say, I'm sorry. All I have to do is say, I want that grace. I want that forgiveness, right? That's all we have to do. Open the hearts to that grace. So there's this incredibly generous heart, this incredible divine mercy that wants to bring us back, to wash us clean and to give us life again. And often when we think, or when I think of maybe traditionally how the faith was lived in Ireland, I think there's one expression that probably would never have been used: to love God generously. I think it's a beautiful phrase, like love God generously, as opposed to love God minimalistically. Give God his due, obey the rules, give him what you're supposed to give him, but that's it, right? Go to Mass on Sunday and don't kill anyone. That's it. That's all you have to do, right? So you go to Mass on Sunday and you try your best not to kill anyone, and then voila, that's it. But there's no kind of relationship there. There's love. I don't think love really featured, right? So there's no real love. And rather than loving God generously, it's give God the bare minimum to get by. And I think probably one of the words that's missing in that understanding of God is exactly that: relationship. Relationship. There's no relationship there. It's like a tick the box exercise. Do these certain things to keep him happy. Obey these certain rules. But not see him as Father, or not see him as someone I love. And therefore, don't love him generously. Love him minimalistically. Give him his due and leave it there. So when I ask myself, I was just thinking about it this morning, do I love God generously? Do I it's kind of hard to phrase this, do I give him as much as I can? Do I give him, because maybe in our own hearts, maybe sometimes we might feel, well, God has given me a lot. Yes, he absolutely has. Yeah. But there are also problems, okay? There's also been sickness and death and mourning and failure and illness. So they're he's been good, but hasn't been all roses either. And there's a real danger then that we can slip into blaming God for what has gone wrong and not see all the blessings, and therefore not love generously. When we listen to these astounding words of our gospel, right? Jesus' mother and his brothers, or his cousins, his family, his relations arrive. Jesus informed, your mother and your cousins, your relations, your brothers are out there. And he says, who are they? Because anyone who does the will of my Father in heaven, he is my brother and my sister and my mother. This is the generous love of Jesus, so much so that we can become members of his family simply by doing the will of God. So he brings us into his family. This is how much he gives us back for the little that we give him. Love God generously. Love God generously. Because he has loved us generously first. And so we ask the good Lord today to renew our love for him, deepen our love for him. As we look at our own lives, in our prayer, loving God generously doesn't just mean giving him more time, because like in a married couple, you can spend a lot of time together as a married couple watching TV or going on holidays together, but never actually talking, never actually communicating properly. You're in the same room physically together, but there's no love or communication necessarily. So spending more time with the Lord, it's a good start, as long as that time with the Lord is spent with him in here. So you're in the chapel, yes, but you're also with him here. Otherwise, I remember popping into an adoration chapel on one occasion, and there were like 4 or 5 people in there, and 3 or 4 of them had the Irish Catholic, and they just read the Irish Catholic for the hour. Oh, Mary Immaculate is writing a new book. Like, do you know what I mean? What does that have to do with adoration? I have no idea. But, so you're in the right place, you're just doing the wrong thing. So it's not just about giving the Lord more time necessarily, but giving him more love. Loving him more intensely. So in our prayer time, and maybe it is the case that our prayer time needs to be longer. But I think regardless of how much time we give him, or along with giving him time, it's love that he wants. It's love that he desires. And it's love that he deserves. So Lord, help us to renew our love. We ask you, our Blessed Lady, you who loved the Lord with all of your being, to teach us to love generously, with an open heart, a giving heart, a heart that beats only for him. Amen.